we can double back from there if we need to.
Okay, perfect. So thank you everybody for joining us here on the LLBC Online Festival I guess it would be called a workshop. We as the county contracted out Seekers Media because of some of the work that they did with us last year with Take It to the Lake. And then earlier this year, when COVID all kind of struck everybody hard in the being able to do business as we've always done, they actually worked with Vermilion Town to do an online festival to help generate some of the business that businesses were otherwise seeing lost. So with that, Stevie and Jim worked with what would be called a social media reporter, which we've actually also been working with Najia from one of our locals from town here, and she's on the call to kind of help us with some of the Lac La Biche regional tourism social media content. And she's been doing a great job. So a lot of the content that you guys are seeing out on Lac La Biche region's social media platforms is actually coming from Najia. So she's putting out about 3 posts a week, and it's just helping to keep us relevant and helping to create content that reminds people that we're here and that we're a good place to come and visit. We've been really conscious to keep our content on social media to be more geared around that social distancing and that room to share kind of idea. We don't want people to see us as a congested location just due to the recent COVID pandemic that we were going through. But in saying that, Jim and Stevie are helping Najia to make sure that we are doing all of the things that we need to be doing to make our social media relevant and to help with the online festival as well. So they've also, in the past, we've worked with Linda Huang over in Edmonton, and she's a social media influencer, and through that she helps to spread our word to more of the audience that she attracts as well. So Jim, I'll let you take it from here. I guess I totally missed the next phase about what we've been doing with our social media. The next slide, eh?
Oh, no stress. I appreciate that, Jana. And if we bring this next slide up, it just kind of gives you an overview of the LLB scene. So yeah, we might want to have a couple words to this for sure, or...
Yeah, so we've, over the last couple of years, we've been really working to bring our social media presence to a higher level. We've been working with Seekers Media on Take It to the Lake. So I'm sure many of you have seen some of the video content that was put out last year around Lac La Biche and the region. So we partnered with Vermilion, Athabasca, and MD of Bonnyville. And then Seekers helped us with making sure that we had relevant content, quality content, and partnering with Travel Alberta to get our name a little bit more out there. And we got a lot of really good traction out of it. And we're just kind of taking that foundation and continuing to move forward with it. So
yeah, building on that momentum, I think is definitely what's happening here. And certainly, you know, you as a county have made a great investment in terms of your social channels and certainly in terms of the efforts at play here. So really what this is about in terms of the LLBC online festival is to amplify and to accelerate what's already here. So again, hats off to the county for being as innovative as it is, and certainly for Jana and the team in terms of bringing you the support that they're bringing you within this festival, and working with folks like Jean and Karen, whether it's from Community Futures or from the Chamber, in order to obviously see LLBC together and not together in a win. So thanks a lot, Jana, for the opportunity in partnering here and certainly continuing our relationship in a bigger and better way through this festival. And so, yes. Go ahead.
So, and Jim, you know, one of the other things that I guess we should probably highlight is that we are looking to work with more of our community businesses and organizations in helping us to get to that next level. So, you know, I've noticed here that we've got both Scott, who is currently laid off from the radio station, but he's an active part of our community, as well as Rob from the Post, which is now Lakeland Today. So they're also great contributors and attributes to our community as far as spreading the word and getting our locals involved. And then all of our business people on the line here today, you know, getting getting our community members involved in helping us to amplify our own profile, as well as helping to get business back to your guys' doors.
And I think those regional and the local media that are with us today are vital in this. And we're going to speak about how to, support that. And certainly social media is a key tool. I'm not sure if any of you were a part of the Travel Alberta workshop that was hosted about 10 days ago. It talked about just in terms of their investment interests and where they're going in terms of what they're looking to and what they see as value in the next few months here. And certainly COVID has raised the bar in terms of digital, and certainly raised the bar in terms of the opportunity that you have as a business in which to really harness digital as a vehicle for expanding your operations, seeing more sales, and ultimately preparing you. There is a discussion, and I'm not sure, for those of us that have been paying attention to the news, there is discussion about a second wave and the potential for us to possibly go back to a stay-at-home call to action this fall. So this workshop and this effort in terms of the online festival is your chance in order to do more with digital. So obviously we're here today to pass on some wisdom in this workshop, and myself and Linda and Stevie have some ideas for you to consider and to appreciate in terms of building your business online, but also really take this time over the next couple of months to really zone in on what you're doing digitally, because again, what could happen this fall or this winter could directly affect your business. And as we saw in Vermilion, when working together, we saw a whole bunch of businesses who did more with digital. And so whether that's taking your page from a Facebook presence to then adding Shopify, which is an online e-commerce solution, or to an example of a restaurant who maybe might not be selling gift certificates online yet, or might not be selling efforts and opportunities through your website or through your Facebook page. And that's all what this relationship is about. So again, thanks again to the county for laying the opportunity for you to do more with digital. And that's why we're here today. So I just introduce you to your team. That includes myself as a founder to Seekers. I started this business 11 years ago as a vehicle in which to support rural destinations in their digital adoption and in their digital development. And so with that, then a team that includes Stevie, who a few of you, if not all of you, will be engaged with over this relationship. She's our coach, and certainly will be taking on some of the one-on-ones that you will achieve as part of the partnership in here. And then as Jana introduced, Najaya, who's with us as well today, and she's your at LLB Tourism social media reporter. So you've got yourself an investment that the county is bringing you to really activate your game here. And we are here to support that and to help you in terms of doing that bigger and better thing with digital. So, when we talk about this whole concept about the LLBC Online Festival, it is just that. It is a vehicle in which to drive your online awareness. It's here in order to help you build more social following. It's here to help you, again, just achieve what we can over these next few months, so that if there is a situation come this fall and we do go back to a stay-at-home, you've got yourself over the last 3 or 4 months a really well-oiled social presence and a really strong opportunity in order to do more to arrive at this moment. So I guess we'll just start from the top. In terms of what is a hashtag and why we go with this example LLBC together or LLBC online, think about it as a Dewey Decimal System in a library. And let's say I was going to learn how to speak Spanish, and a librarian told me that I had to go down aisle 4 and I had to get to 68.4527, which is the book that I'm looking for about how to speak Spanish. Well, that hashtag is similar in regards to a Dewey Decimal System. It catalogs information. So for example, I would challenge you, whether it's on this workshop or just after, to go into your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever your big social channel of interest is, and search, for example, that LLBC together. Have you used it lately? Take a look at hashtag Take It to the Lake and see what's happened in the residual that's left there. So by working together over this next month in terms of promoting this LLBC online, what it means is that there will be for years to come content that is about you, done by you, showcasing local business and local experiences across the region. So again, you can think of that tag as the Dewey Decimal System. It catalogs information and it's able for us to bring it up later or for us to engage in some interesting ways as we'll share with you today. So obviously this is about, and as Jen has explained, it's about activating you as business owners in the community to rally around digital and the support that we can bring to increase your shoppers and increase that community rally, and again, all under that LLBC together. It's obviously a focus around small business. So this is a very much about encouraging people to click now or to buy now in terms of shopping off of your site or shopping within your store directly. And then it's obviously in which to entice those locals to think about what LLB has within the region and to obviously promote those experiences and those businesses to whether they're coming today or to plant the seed for a visit that's potentially sort of coming up in the future. So the festival itself is a series of live Facebook broadcasts. So these are broadcasts that we again will train you on how to make. This is giving you tips and tricks around video content production. This is about using your smartphone as the vehicle it is for the media tool that it can be. And so what happens is that you as a business taking on the opportunity within this festival, you're signing up to participate in terms of gaining education. That education is in the form of the workshop we're doing today. It's also on the opportunity that you have for one-on-one meetings with myself or Linda or Stevie. And that gives you the chance in order to really up your game about what you're doing with your social media and your digital presence. So they kick off this Wednesday and will happen every Wednesday through the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks, as you see on your screen. And it'll be hosted through your page. So you'll basically be going live on your Facebook page. And then that post will then be promoted off of the LLBC tourism page in order to help amplify and to drive audience to your channel and to your scene. So ultimately what we're doing today is giving you tools around content generation and using your smartphone as the vehicle it is for social media promotion, but also in terms of exposing your business to a wider audience so that ultimately we can drive click-throughs, but we can also expose your Facebook page to more people so that ultimately we can generate you more likes and shares and the otherwise. And it's obviously being promoted across the LLBC site, us here at Zen Seekers and Festival Seekers, and then Linda, who I'm pleased to introduce you to as well in a couple of seconds here in terms of our efforts together. So we talk about digital strategy, and this is what this workshop is about, and very much about what this relationship is. So we officially welcome you to the LLBC Online Festival. And why does this matter? Well, as spoken about, we've obviously come through a very interesting world in the last 3 months. And for a lot of us, it's impacted their businesses in some substantial ways. So again, the folks from the county and Jan obviously looking to be innovative and to be out there are providing you this opportunity in order to do more with digital, to learn from us, and to ultimately take what you learn and apply it to your business so that you can have a stronger digital presence. Because at the end of the day, why it matters is because if we do go to an at-home situation this fall, you've got the next couple of months to really zone in on what you can do with digital and get that presence to be something strong and supportive to growing your business. I think, in this slide here on the right-hand side, you'll see this presentation by a Simon Sinek. And if you haven't had a chance to take a look at what Simon's putting down here, we would highly recommend that you take a look at this. And I'll include this link and follow up after the presentation. But it's about understanding your why. And understanding your why as a business, as a performer, or as an experience operator in this time is everything. Because by understanding your why, you're very easily able to succinctly explain what you do. And by really making it easy for your audience to understand what you do in a social time period is critical, because they only have seconds, if not milliseconds, as they're thumbing through a Facebook profile or thumbing through Facebook in order to stop and click. And by knowing your why, it gives you so much opportunity to speak to that in ways that is really comprehensive in terms of generating content and putting an approach together that makes sense, because you know why you exist and what your value proposition is. So again, highly recommended to look up that Simon Sinek, How Great Leaders Inspire Action, because it does start with knowing your why. And so in this, with my introduction to Linda here in terms of her why, it's about digital strategy. And Linda has been a digital strategist and is what we call an influencer in forums across Edmonton, and works on various amounts of projects, including her Instagrammable wall walks. She has her own site at linda-huang.com, obviously a sizable social media presence, and even can speak from experience in terms of designing and developing virtual experience, as you'll see in the bottom right corner, where she actually executed a full virtual festival just last month around the Edmonton International Cat Fest. So Linda, I'm going to pass it over to you, if you could, to just speak a little bit about some of the ideas for Facebook broadcasts and some of the things that you work on in order to keep things interesting.
Great. Perfect. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all really excited to be part of the Lac La Biche Online Festival. I think what your county is doing is absolutely innovative and so important right now, as we don't know. Excuse me, I'm outside, so I might be flicking some mosquitoes out. But we don't know what it's going to look like a few months from now. And so if before you weren't online, or you weren't really online, or you were afraid maybe to go online, now is just such a great time to learn those skills and to do that with that support of Zen Seekers and Jim and Stevie and myself. So these ideas I'm going to talk about for your Facebook Live broadcast, they are ideas that you can use for this specific festival, but we also want you to take these tips and take these ideas and apply them to your everyday social media, or your everyday, actions or ways that you are marketing your business and yourself over the next few months, over the next forever, really, as we shift more and more online. So just a few ideas and reminders as you're trying to plan what you should do on Facebook or how you can go live, is to ask yourself, what's the most interesting thing visually? You might have aspects of your business that are very interesting, but maybe it doesn't translate as well on video. So you sort of have to challenge yourself. Okay, well, this aspect is interesting, but maybe I do this, or I show this, or I bring people over here because there's something more visual or more action-based that's happening, while I also talk about other aspects of your services and your business. So some really popular or common things that you can do with your Facebook Live is to teach by showing how to make something. So depending on what your business is there even just one aspect of your product or one aspect of your business that you can show someone, that you can walk someone through something? It might be, this example is more for culinary, but again, thinking about how it applies to your business, can you do a video tasting? Can you do a video sampling? I'm seeing other virtual events also mailing things to viewers so that they can kind of participate in their homes while watching your live video as well. Unboxings are very popular. So that's really just when you have, a box of product or a box of something, and actually on camera, that's what you do. You open it, you unbox it, you pull out the object, you show the camera something. So that's really important, that visual aspect. What are you showing people? Why should they tune in? Why should they keep tuning in? Why should they watch you? Virtual tours or behind the scenes are very popular in Facebook Lives. And I think understated for a lot of businesses. You are in your office, you are in your store, you are in wherever you are every day. You just kind of take it for granted. I think that it might be something that is of interest for others who aren't in there every day. So a culinary example is, your kitchen, you might not think is very exciting or interesting, but an audience might find it interesting that you're taking them inside the kitchen at a restaurant, because they don't normally get to see that. So consider how you can give someone a behind the scenes look. Maybe it's a warehouse. Maybe it's just the back storage room. Maybe it's the shed behind the office that whatever that people maybe don't have easy access to? Can you show them that? If you have a chance, if you're a boutique store, can you do a fashion show? Can you hold some type of virtual event? Can you do a demonstration? If you create products, can you actually show yourself creating whatever that product is? Something very hands-on. These are just some of the ideas that you can think about, not just for the live stream for this festival, but moving forward as you hopefully continue to try to keep people's attention and make sure that your business is top of mind. What else can you show people? What else can you do with audiences online? Really important note is that you should pre-promote your live stream. So you want to give people notice. You want to invite them to tune in. If maybe you haven't signed up yet for this festival for a date, but as soon as you've nailed down your date, and maybe it's next week, maybe it's in 2 weeks, once you know that, post about it. Say you're so excited that you're going to be showing people this, or you're going to be demonstrating this, you're going to be putting on this type of show online on this date. Be sure to tune in, and then remind people about that. I also find it very helpful when you give people incentives. So maybe it's, don't forget to tune in on June 17th at 11 a.m. If I go live, I'm going to be giving all the live viewers an opportunity to win something. So now you've given people incentive to tune in live as well. There's just some of the ideas, and we're going to go through a few more examples. I'm not going to show them, physically show the video to you right now. Everyone's going to get this workshop template link sent to you, so you'll be able to click through to watch the full videos. But here's just a few more examples for ideas for your Facebook Live. Mentioned that fashion show. So this is a business in Vermilion, which Jana talked about, that decided to do for their Facebook Live event. They had a model showcasing the different products that people could then buy on the online store. And then they also, in this live, gave people a discount for live viewers. So if you watch this video, use this code on our website, and now they also know that X amount of sales came in because of this live fashion show video. So that's just one example. If you want to go to the next one, Jim.
I think it's important to reference here, Fresh Apparel, when they did this video, they saw a huge spike in their sales. So again, working with a collective, you have the power here in order to really do something special, because as we have this example, we have the town of Vermilion, we have us at Seekers, we have Linda. There's a whole bunch of us that are behind the scenes promoting your content. And so, for example, they moved from, they had done 4 or 5 sales that week, and then the next day, within 48 hours, they had done 25 sales. Mm-hmm. So again, it's really opportunity-wise for you to harness this potential and gain some really solid momentum from it. So next slide. Sorry, Linda.
Absolutely. No, that's a great point. This is a farm tour, so Chatsworth Farm. I think animals in general, if you have access to an animal and it makes sense for your business, it's relevant. People like to see animals in videos, but in this case, it was a farm tour. So it's that behind the scenes, it's that, hey, this is what I see every day, but I know or I recognize that maybe you don't get to see this. So I'm going to show you what I do or how we get our products and our services ready for you. So kind of that how-to behind the scenes, walk with me as I show you something. And in this case, it was an adorable farm tour that also highlighted the different animals. This was with the Copper Cork Distillery, so also a Vermilion business. They basically did a tour as well, so a short tour of the distillery, so you could see kind of all the big bins where the alcohol is, I don't even know what the technical term is, where the alcohol is getting ready. but they show you all of that, and then he brings you back to the bar where he then puts together a very simple drink. So it's like, here's a tour. Very short tour. I think this was maybe 10 minutes long, very short tour. Now I'm going to show you with our product and these 3 other ingredients, you can make a nice drink for your patio from home. Thanks for watching. So kind of the reward for watching is that you're going to learn something new. And that's great if it can be a very hands-on visual how-to, that's preferred. But just thinking about, okay, is there something, again, that you might take for granted because you know how to do it, you do it every day, but maybe your audience might benefit from learning about it. This one's not local, but just another example of the type of experience that you might be able to showcase. It's a winery. They decided to do virtual wine tastings regularly, every week actually during this pandemic. Siblings got together because it's a family-owned winery, and they just throw on the camera. They have the wines that they want to feature that week that people can also, again, purchase online. That's really helpful when you can have that direct online. With what Jim said, with Fresh Apparel doing their broadcast online and then also pushing people to buy online, they can do that seamlessly. It's okay though, I think if you're not quite there yet, or if you're in the process of doing that, I think you can get creative with other ways of how people might still be able to physically go into your store, mention that they saw the live stream, and then there's still a connection that way. But this is, just a casual, let's sit down for a few minutes, let's talk about wine, let's drink some wine, let's show people or tell people what we like about this product, and then also hope that they will then buy the product themselves. So virtual wine tasting. I think the next example is, so I really like, I like looking at this accounts that make tiny food. it's a increasing trend where it's tiny kitchens. And so this live stream was basically a tiny kitchen where they were making tiny donuts. But I like to use this example because they just went all out with the set, with the visual. They were very aware with what was going to be on camera. And so they were intentional. We've got notes here. We've got this mini kitchen set up. And then really the live stream is just them, again, demonstrating something, showing something. But the attention to detail to what's behind you or what's in the frame is really important. So you can take that opportunity too when you decide, look around your store or look around where you think you're going to do your live stream and think, okay, that blank wall is not that interesting, but maybe I can move some of my product in front of it. Or maybe I just switch the location completely because over to the left here, there's far more interesting things going on. I just had a conversation with someone who owns a horse stable here in Alberta. And she was basically thinking, okay, I think I'll do my live stream in front of where people are going to be doing riding lessons. So because she knows that that's going to be interesting in the background, something interesting visually is happening while she's talking about her business and her services. Next slide. So I like to show this one or mention this just because probably for many of you, and it's totally fine, the nice thing about Facebook Live is that you do not need a very professional camera. You do not need a mic. You don't technically need any of these things to go live. Facebook and things like YouTube have made lower video quality productions a lot more acceptable. So people are a lot more understanding and acceptable of very kind of raw, natural, organic video. So you can literally just take your phone, go to your Facebook app, hit live, and then now you're broadcasting, and people are generally okay with that. Stevie will talk a bit more about audio in a few slides. Audio is important. You still want sound quality to be as good as possible, but generally it's okay if, in this example, they did a virtual class. So again, how to demonstrating something, but they used a lot of different cameras, so they could cut to different angles, and they use like professional cameras, so the quality is quite high. But for a lot of Albertans, and especially your audience, they don't need that. They don't necessarily need that, so no pressure. You can just casually go live on your phone, and that's going to be more than enough. People are going to be quite accepting of that. So a virtual class of some kind is an idea that you can do. See how it's made. So again, you're gonna see a trend with these examples. It's, I'm showing you something, I'm showing you how to do something, I'm showing you how I do something. So thinking about that, and it's all quite visual. So this is a pottery artist in the States, and he doesn't talk in his live streams. He just flips on the camera, throws on music, and then for an hour, we're not suggesting that your live stream be that long, but in his case, he just basically is going to be doing this anyways, and so he decides, I'll just live stream it so people can see it happen as it happens. So that's really cool too. So trying to think about, is there something I can show as it happens, but keeping in mind, for instance, for the virtual event that I did for the Cat Festival, we had a virtual session about baking cat treats. We didn't, make it like we're going to now put the treats in the oven and you're going to sit and watch us wait for 20 minutes while the treats are baking. We didn't do it that way. We knew that that would take too much time, so we in advance baked treats already, so you get sort of that TV magic. We've shown you how to do it. We've popped it in the oven. And now we're taking out the completed one to show you. So just kind of being mindful of timing as well. And then I think the last example, the last example that I have here is just, again, that animal perk. But this is an example from the ASPCA in the States. And it was very much, they were just going to be taking part in this walk, this fundraiser walk. And they decided, you know what, let's go live. Let's go live with it. Let's invite people to come along and be part of this walk, be part of this experience with us. And yeah, so you can just, you might think, oh, for instance, if you're on a farm, I got to go feed the animals. That's something that you do. Maybe a live stream idea is, come with me as I go feed the cows, and you can kind of see how that process is while I also tell you about the farm and the things that you can purchase and how you can support my business. So come along and be part of this experience, I think, is a good approach or kind of cap to put on your head as you're thinking about live stream ideas. Now I think, so I'm going to throw that back now to Jim and Stevie, but those are just a few ideas. And depending on, scheduling, I will be hopping on a call with some of you individually, and would be happy to kind of go over good live streaming ideas that are specific to your business. But generally, any of those ideas can likely be applied no matter what business you have.
Right on, Linda. Some really good thoughts there, and appreciate your insights. I think it's also important for everybody to understand and appreciate that what we're talking about specifically around a Facebook Live is one thing, but a lot of these tips can be applied to just a video and or a content approach for your social channels as well. So sure, we're obviously promoting the fact that it's a live broadcast because it's a part of the festival, but ideally these tips can be applied to just your interests around doing more with video. And we would highly recommend that you do more with video because of the viral nature of it, and it gets definitely props in Facebook's eyes in terms of that video gets promoted over otherwise. And when you are making your tags and when you are promoting yourself, be using this LLB tourism. Najaya's there in terms of looking at people who are tagging her and tagging the county. So whether it's through this festival or otherwise, use that tag because it will help you generate more interest and more exposure to your page. Obviously, we encourage you in which to use that LLBC online tag as well, and that's the hashtag. And then finally, that LLBC together tag as well. So maybe, Stevie, if we can bring you into the fold now and talk a little bit about some of these tools that people are going to need and how best practices work out in terms of whether it's live or whether it's video overall.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Jim, and hello, everybody. Facebook Live tools. The main tool you need is a smartphone. So if you have a phone, you have essentially everything you need to go live and to do some killer live video that's going to be a good impact for your business. Now, I always recommend a phone camera or a tablet camera can work because they tend to be higher quality than what you have with your computer webcam. If you think you have a high quality webcam and you'd rather use your computer to go live, that is totally an option. But the phone is going to be easier for you to maneuver and easier for you to use and have that stellar quality video in most cases. Now on your phone, if you have a Facebook page already that you're managing on your phone, you likely have the Facebook Pages Manager app. If you don't, during our one-on-ones, we can help you figure out how to download that and use it. It's basically the same Facebook app that you use for your regular Facebook page, but it's specifically for your business. It looks very similar when you're using it. It just means that when you go live, you're going live as your business page rather than your personal page. And that's the point. We want to go live on your business page so that, or we want you to go live on your business page so that we can help you reach more people rather than just your close friends and family that you have on your personal page. So some helpful extras. I always love it when people can get a assistant to help them. Maybe that's your partner, your husband, your wife, your kids, your business partner, your colleagues, somebody to jump on the computer and help you answer questions that people might have during your live or engage with someone. Just say hello as people log in. You can also have someone help you out by holding the camera for you if you like. Makes it a little less shaky if you're nervous, if someone else is holding that camera for you. A microphone is great. Lots of us will have a great microphone in our phone. And as long as we are close enough to our phone as it's recording, it will pick up our voice. If you are further away from your phone, you might want to insert something like a headset, something you'd use for a call, and they usually have a little microphone on them, and that can pick up your voice as well. Props. I love to encourage people to put signage and their branding in the video. Props make things more fun. Props help remind people what the name of your business is, what your logo looks like. And also, props are going to make something way more interesting. I can talk about this bracelet that I have and talk about it all day, but until I bring it close to the camera and show you what it looks like, you're going to not have that visual. The props are going to make your video more exciting. Next slide, please, Jim. So how long should your broadcast be? Short and sweet is fine. Sometimes people will go an hour or 2 hours in a Facebook Live, and it'll be like a farm tour, or they're creating a piece of art from start to finish. For the Lac La Biche or LLBC Online Festival, we're looking for short and sweet because we want you to introduce yourself to the audience that doesn't know you yet, and remind the audience that does know you what you have going on, how they can shop with you, how they can support you. So 3 to 5 minutes is a great video. You don't have to try to put on an entire, half-hour sitcom show here. We're just looking for that snippet into your personal life and into your business and how that connects for your audience. Next slide, please. So planning is important. Write an outline, write an intro for yourself. What do you want to say? Who are you? Who does your audience need to know who you are and what do you do? Your middle portion would be the chunk of what you're doing for your life. So if you're doing a fashion show, that would be the fashion show. If you're doing a how-to, you put your how-to in there. And in the end, you want to make sure you're hitting people with a call to action. So that's come shop at my business online with this website, or share this video with your friends and you'll be entered to win something at the end of the month, or like us on Facebook. Whatever your call to action is, you just need to make sure you communicate that with your audience before you let them go, because otherwise they'll just go, that was a nice video, see ya, and they'll never actually do the thing you want them to do. Well, let your creativity fly in the planning stage is the best place to let it fly. Put in a contest, or do a silly dance, or whatever you think might be a fun thing to input into your video. Put that into the planning stage so that you're not having to come up with something on the fly. Giveaways are great for adding that little bit of extra fun for your audience and giving them more incentive to engage with you, share your video, shop with you, all that kind of stuff. Find the props that you're going to use. You want to find those ahead of time, because it's when you get time for your live broadcast and you're like, oh, I wanted to have this in there, where is that? You're going to be all panicked and nervous. So if you can get all your props ahead of time, whether that's your one favorite item that you're showcasing that day, or whether that's your banner sign in the background, whatever it is, get that ready for yourself ahead of time. The next part of planning is identifying your cheerleaders. So your cheerleaders are people who are your business partners, your close family and friends, your customers who shop with you frequently, other groups or neighboring businesses that you work with. Find these people, let them know ahead of time you're going live, ask them to be part of your live when tune in, ask them to ask questions, get them to help you spread the word that you're going live and that you are open for business. And then do a test run. So you're always going to want to do a test run, because you're going to want to make sure you've got the audio, you've got the visual, it sounds and looks the way you want it to be. I always recommend 2 practice runs. The first one, you'll go, okay, I want to make some changes. And the second one will be that confidence builder going, yes, okay, I've got this, I'm ready to go. You can go live on your personal Facebook page and set the privacy to only me. And that will make sure no one else sees it, just you. So you can practice as many times as you want. and just kind of take a look and go, oh, okay, so that's what it looks like. I'm good with it. I'm ready to go now. Next slide, please, Jim. So again, on the practice twice. Is your phone vertical or horizontal? Is it portrait or landscape? If you have a locked screen, your phone might be stuck on portrait mode, but you're trying to video it in landscape. And so then you see your video after the fact and go, oh, it was sideways the whole time. Oh no. Well, if you practice, you'll be able to figure out your phone's orientation, and that won't be an issue. Audio is key. So Linda talked a lot about visuals, and those are really great for engaging your audience, getting them excited about what you're trying to sell to them or show to them. But if your audio isn't loud and clear, people will lose interest immediately, and they will just either stop watching or they won't know what it is that you're trying to communicate. So when you're practicing, you want to check, am I loud enough? Am I close enough to my camera that my camera microphone is picking up my voice? All that kind of thing. If you have two people in your video, sometimes you might have your coworker in there, maybe you ask them a question and they're answering, you're going to need to make sure the camera is close enough to them as well, that their voice is coming through. And next slide, please, Jim. So that good, clear sound is key. When you're speaking, speak into that microphone. If someone's holding the camera for you, make sure they're close. I know it kind of feels weird to have somebody filming you close up, but you're going to want that closeness so that you can be heard. And if you have music playing in the background or machine hum or wind going in the background, you're either going to want to turn that way down low or find a new location that doesn't have that going on, because that will drown out your voice very quickly. Next slide, please, Jim. Now, thinking about visuals, I don't know if am I able to take over the screen here, Jim? For those on the phone, I'll explain verbally, but it's very important to have the light shining on your face when you're speaking to the camera so that people can see the words you're mouthing and they can see your facial expressions, so you're communicating your message. If you can see my screen right now, I'm just going to turn my computer around to the other side. And right now, I'm just a silhouette. You can kind of see my mouth moving. You can kind of see maybe my facial expressions if I'm very close. But the light is behind me, so it's making me a silhouette. It's very hard to see.
Stevie, you just have to, sorry to interrupt. I've just added you on as the host. Now you just need to go down and you need to take over the screen share, please.
Alrighty.
There we go.
Okay. Can I make myself bigger here?
Your screen's up. We see your email.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the bigger screen here, but it's not allowing me to at this point. Well, let's pause the share there.
Well, we can see you now.
Can you see me? Okay,
yes.
Perfect. So those who didn't see, right now you can see my face, you can see my mouth moving, all that great stuff. If I turn my computer around, which I'm on my webcam, all you see is a silhouette because the light's behind me. So try to make sure that the light is always facing your face, whether that's a window or whether it's an actual, light in your shop. Jim, can I give that back to you to share?
You betcha. Just give me 2 seconds here and we're going to do that right now. That should put us back in the mix here, and we should be on a slide say engagement. Yeah?
Right on. Thank you. So engagement. One awesome thing about Facebook Live as opposed to a regular Facebook video is that people can comment in real time. They can like it in real time, and they can ask you questions in real time. You can talk to your audience in real time. So I really encourage you, when someone logs onto your video, you say, hello, Scott, thanks for tuning in, or nice to see you, Jim, or hey guys, does anyone have any questions? Can you hear me okay? Is my audio loud enough? Use your audience to interact with so that they feel more connected to you, and it also kind of makes them feel like, oh, well, I should stick around and watch this whole video. They know I'm watching. I have this impetus to now watch the whole video and follow through with that call to action you're going to give me at the end of the video. If no one joins your video, do not worry about it. You're going to have a stellar video to use after the fact, and Facebook will help you out in the algorithm. One little trick that I like to do with Facebook Lives is I always have a friend or two ready in the background on their own computers at home, or even in another province, who will log in and interact with me and engage with me, just to make me feel more comfortable and make it look more comfortable for other people to join in that conversation. So yeah, feel free to get your kids, your spouse, your friends, your family, tell them ahead of time, be like, hey, log in and ask me this question, or log in and say you like the video, so that I can feel that confidence as I'm going live. Next slide, please, Jim. Now that call to action we talked about, before your video wraps up, and you can do this during your video as well, at the beginning of your video, but you want to make sure you give your audience that call to action. So we just gave some examples here. You can ask them to click a shopping link to your online store. You can ask them to share your video. You can ask them, leave your comment of what your favorite part of this video was. If you taught them how to do something, ask them, did you try it? How did it work out? You can ask them any question you want. You can give them any call to action you like, but just make sure you do ask them to do something that you want them to do. Join your mailing list. That's another option. Next slide, please, Jim. Now the LLBC online showcase. We have Allison here, who's participating on June 17th. We've got her confirmed in, and we'll be putting together a one-on-one with her. So she's got the Straight and Arrow Boutique. And I don't know what Allison's going to do yet, but I know that she's signed in and ready to go, and she's going to be ready to go for the 17th. I wanted to encourage you that if you have a Facebook page, contact me. I am Stevie Fraze. I will give you my email here in the chat, as well as be contacting anyone who reaches out to me. Contact me and book in for your showcase time slot. We'll be doing 1 hour time slots throughout the day on June 10th, 17th, 24th, July 1st. When I say 1 hour, I'm not expecting you to go live for an hour. You can go live for 3 to 5 minutes, but I'm giving the full hour so that if there's any technical difficulties, you have time to retry going live. Or if you go live and you want your customers to shop with you, they have time to shop with you online before the next live video comes in. So I'm just going to put my email, and for everyone on the phone, it is Stevie, STEVIE, at seekers-media.com. If you have not booked in a time for the showcase or for the festival yet, please send me an email as soon as you can. I'd love to get you booked in there. I'd love to set you up for success. We can go over all the details of how to go live again if need be. Like there's no one who is going to say, oh, I've never gone live before, I can't do it, that I'm going to say, yeah, you're right, you can't. No, if you've never gone live before, even if you've never done really anything on Facebook, you can do this, and it's going to be great, and I'll help you set up for success. So please email me and we'll get you booked in. Especially this week. Oh yeah, I guess we had to change the dates there. The June 17th is our new first festival day. We have quite a few spots, 4 spots left. I'd love to get you in there. That first festival day is going to have a lot of pizzazz and a lot of momentum behind it. So it's a really good chance to just jump in the water with both feet. You're going to do well. You're going to do great, and we'll make sure of that. So please email me and let me know as soon as you can that you have interest in it, and I'll get you set up. So coming to 3 things we can do right now. The first thing we can do, if everyone has their phone, if you're not watching this on your phone, if you can go to the LLB Tourism page on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook and you look up at LLB Tourism, look that up and make sure we give it a follow. Follow that page so that when you're engaging with them and they're engaging with you, you're already connected and you can be featured on the LLB Tourism Facebook page. So once you've done that, let's go to step 2. I've just thrown a link into the chat if anyone needs to get at that quickly, we're going to go to the LLBC Online Festival event page on Facebook, and we're going to RSVP. So if you're on your phone, there's a button that says interested. You can click that interested button. If you're on your desktop, you can see the graphic on the screen there. There's an interested button that you can press. And there's also, if you click those 3 dots on the right-hand side, you can add this event directly to your Facebook page so that anyone scrolling through your Facebook page will see you are a part of the LLBC Online Festival. It'll be part of your Facebook events. It'll be as if you're putting on the event to your audience. They'll think, oh, you're the star of the show. This is very cool. And once you RSVP to LLBC Online Festival, I'm going to encourage anyone who can right now or today, share a post about the LLBC Festival Online Festival right now. So you can go directly to that event page, and you can press those 3 dots of more, or press that share button on your desktop, and just share a post right now. You say, I'm excited for the LLBC Online Festival, or I plan to be a part of this. Who's interested? Or, hey, I'm going to do a Facebook Live. Commit to it now. We'll book you in. We'll find a time slot for you. Commit to it now, and just say, I'm going to be part of this, and I'm going to support my local community. I'm asking everyone else to support my business as well. You know, you're looking for this support, and we want to give it. So let's move on this one for sure. Next slide, Jim.
And so, I mean, this is, thanks a lot for those insights, Stevie. And I hope that there's some takeaways for everybody on the call today that can see, and hopefully your wheels are turning in terms of some of the creative and some of the angles that you can take on. But sure, we're going to be promoting through this next month and working together as a community in terms of raising the profile of the experiences in LLB and region. But this is very much about beyond the festival. And there will be another workshop that we'll be hosting in about a month's time that you'll be invited to. And that's where we call sustaining the buzz. So now that you've gone and you've taken this effort in terms of graduating your skill set around using your smartphone for video production or otherwise, you want to keep the momentum going. So it's not just about doing this one-off with us, but it's also, again, sort of getting the tools to fish better. So, you know, continuing to do virtual fashion shows, gift card wish lists, run a virtual tour, customer videos and photo reviews. Those are really important things that you should be doing on the regular that just keeps the buzz going and helps you to continue to graduate your online presence. So don't just think of this as just like this one-off experience in what we're training to do for just your experience on the 17th or the July 1st. This is obviously about growing and becoming a better and stronger digital strategist. And so again, we'll be working with you and providing more insights as we go along here. And certainly in the one-on-ones, I mean, this is worth about probably $500 in terms of the opportunity that each of you have to grab onto this, and it's free. So as Stevie mentions, an email is your ticket to win here, and we would get you booked in and moving forward. So one of the pieces that we're obviously going to be promoting through this is education, and we want you to continue your education. So you've had this opportunity with this workshop today, but there's another one this week on Thursday, and that's Facebook and Instagram for those that are in the tourism space to build a stronger foundation. And it's through Travel Alberta directly, and you'll find that just by searching Travel Alberta webinars, and you'll be able to find this, and we'll send the link out to you as well for follow-up. But this would be something really important to join as well, because it will be actually administered by the folks from Facebook directly. So I'm sure they'll have a lot of really good insights to share on this Thursday, and that's with the Travel Alberta webinar. So we've got Jean on the line with us as well from Community Futures. And I'm wondering if I pass this over to you, Jean, for a couple seconds, because not only you want to speak about Community Futures, but also the Recovery and Relief Fund as well, please.
Sure, certainly. I'll take the opportunity to share about the Relief Fund, but first I'll start with what we usually do day to day. And for those who don't know, we're here to support businesses. Anybody who is in business, that could be part-time, full-time, sideline job, anything like that. The idea behind this is that the more people that are having a successful business, the better our local economy is. So we need that help right now. We're funded by the Western Economic Diversification, so the federal government. And I say my salary is paid and we're paid to give free business advice. And again, it starts with that strong foundation. And remember, that's not just to start a business, that's also to keep your business healthy. You should come and see us more than once. You should come see us anytime you want. The wording is to expand, maintain, or grow your business, or to move it perhaps, or succession planning. Those are all valid reasons to come and see us. We can offer lending if the banks won't help you and you have a viable idea that you need a little extra help with. We can be patient and have payments to meet your needs. But besides that, in relation to this workshop here right now, we want people to, part of a good, strong business plan is marketing. Being online, having a web presence if you haven't had one before, or if you want to boost it, we want to help you to do that. Najia is on the call here, and she has been employed here, and she's done workshops helping people to do that. We'd love to have more. We have a building here in town, just 2 doors west of the post office, that has a great boardroom, and for the community to use that for any type of things for your to help boost or get organized or do a pilot event. It's there to use. It's got a smart board. I don't know about getting a camera these days. I've got 3 on order for about 6 months, but if we needed to, I'm sure we could borrow one from JAMA somewhere. They probably have lots around their building. Technical infrastructure, a nice camera, anything like that to help you, support you in this, or come in and talk to us and we'll help you brainstorm, partner, come up with ideas, improve your plan. That's what we do day to day. So we're here to do that all the time. And these are changing times. A business plan should be a live document. You don't just make it and that's it. You have to reassess it. And right now, I think we need to reassess how we're getting the word out, how we're engaging people, and things like that. Sorry about that. I'm answering my phone, obviously. And the second thing, and I can take some questions on that, but the Community Futures, because we're across Canada, in every rural location, the Western Economic Diversification managed to get a pocket of money for our clients, essentially. The people who didn't get enough support for through the other COVID relief, as they took dividends, because they didn't have employees, they fell through the gap. So we have a regional relief and recovery fund. We call it the Community Future Stream, that now has the online portal open and you can apply. The loans are very similar to what the ones you applied through the bank were, about 40,000, maximum of 40,000. 25% of that is forgivable if you meet the criteria and repay it by December 31st, 2021. Pardon me if I have any of these dates wrong. I'm rattling them off, but I think I'm right on those. Just check, go cfllb.com. That's our website, and look up the details there and you can find out. But if you haven't got sufficient, if you didn't get that $40,000, I think it's CERB account, then you should come and look at this. Even if you got wages or some other forms of support, as long as you don't double dip. You can get different supports from us for like rent or working capital, etc. Unfortunately, it's a longer application process. You need to provide more information. It's not as instant as the other one, but it's there and it's there to help. So any questions on what we do or about this fund? I don't want to divert the this conversation with the fund, but we hope to in the future have some additional supports to help people to have, a digital presence online, hands-on, one-on-one advice, whether that's web or in person, to improve Facebook hosting, training, seminars, and things like that. That work hand in hand with it. We're all for this. I'll stop now for a minute and give somebody else a chance to talk.
I was just going to say, Gene, that at Seekers, we used Community Futures efforts 10 years ago, and it definitely helped in terms of building our foundation. So those of you who haven't had a chance to connect with Gene, you see his email address at the bottom of the screen here, and we'll share that with you in follow-up so that ideally you can have some one-on-one time with him, because he does have keys to doors that you might not know exist. And there is some significant opportunity here for you to partner in with Community Futures and to build that bigger regional approach there. So thanks for sharing that, Jean. And does anybody have any questions specifically for Jean about the fund or about anything that Community Futures stands for? Last call on questions at this time for Jean.
Yeah, a lot of people on the call do know who we are, so
Perfect.
but don't hesitate. There's no silly questions. We answer all questions. We don't assume. So
awesome. Well, we'll definitely take some questions now in terms of for audience in terms of their interest or their situation around the festival or around social media, period. This is pretty much the presentation that we have for you today, so we certainly appreciate those that have to run because we are just running a little bit over. So we do thank you for the time today. But let's just go with a quick round, a quick call for questions here. Would anybody like to ask anything about what was presented today or social media, period? Not everybody at once. Last call for questions.
If no one has any questions, I'll put out another statement. I did just get 3 emails from people looking to book a time or to find out more information about how they can actually be booked in to participate. So yes, please, again, Stevie here, stevie@seekers-media.com. Email me right away. I can book a call with you this afternoon or this week, and we can get you set up and figure out how it's going to work for you best. So yeah, for sure, give me a call or give me an email.
And just again, go
if
ahead.
If anybody can't think of how they could participate, give me a call and I'll try and brainstorm with you how you can have some fun and figure out how to participate too. I can think of a lot of interesting ways to do it if you want. I'll help that way.
Yeah, it's definitely what you're signing up for in terms of all the good things that you can adhere to or gain from this. So you do have one-on-one specific with us. So again, that's the opportunity that you have at current. We got a quick question from Allison. She asked about the difference between Instagram and Facebook and why wouldn't we do the live on Instagram? We had built this specifically around Facebook because, of course, just with the adoption for everyone, that typically every business has a Facebook page. Some have an Instagram page and some don't. But for Facebook and utilizing it as a platform of its own, it makes it really easy for us to work collaboratively because, again, we'll be sharing your Facebook Live onto the LLB tourism page so that it just creates this sort of synergetic opportunity. And plus, we find within Facebook, it's a lot easier for people to click leaving from Facebook to your website because, again, the goal here is to drive traffic to your site and ultimately to your Shop Now page. So good question, Allison, but certainly for this one as Facebook Direct, but it doesn't discourage you from doing an Instagram Live on the regular. It's just that for this effort, we specifically chose Facebook because it's usually the most adopted by everyone. Normally, every business or every attraction has a Facebook page, and some might have an Instagram and some might not. So, a good question for sure. Well, we'll wrap it at that then, folks. Thanks again for the time and energy in terms of the efforts in coming together, and certainly your opportunities here. I hope you've seen some great things, and we look forward to working with you more in the next bit as things come together with LLB Online. Awesome. So thanks again for joining us. It's Jim and Stevie and the team from Seekers. Hats off to the county, Karen and Jean for working with us from the Chamber and CF. And we hope you have a great rest of your afternoon. Happy Monday. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.